Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Good day to all of us. Ako po si Deborah Garcia and welcome to another series of lessons where you will learn not just the theories and form of the language, but also the function and the usage. But before you watch this lesson, please make sure that you've already watched the previous series with 18 lessons in it. I put the link of the first lesson in the description box below because in that series, I discussed all the major theories that would help you understand the Filipino language. So if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let us learn all about conversational Filipino. In the previous lessons, we discussed about getting ready in the morning up to eating breakfast. Now it's time for us to go to work. So this is lesson 3 and we are going to talk about the means of transportation that we have in the Philippines. These are some vocabulary words that we need to be familiar with when we are talking about transportation in the Philippines. So the first one is bus. If you notice, we have the same spelling for the word bus, but we don't read it as bus because remember in the previous series, I discussed the 5 vowels for the 5 vowel sounds. So it's only a, e, I, o, u. Those are the only vowel sounds that we have. So this one is with the U, so it's bus. In the Philippines, we say bus, okay? Jeepney. So this is the most popular means of transportation in the Philippines, the jeepney. So we don't call it jeepney, that's too long. We say jeep. Okay, that's a jeep. The train, we converted into like a Filipino terminology. We don't say train, we say tren. And we really spell it like this when it's Filipino. It's tren. Okay, tricycle. We have a lot of tricycles in the Philippines because, for example, in a small town, jeepneys, buses, and trains do not go to towns or streets. So we have tricycles and we have the same spelling, tricycle, but we do not read this as tricycle. If you are from Manila or from Luzon, where the capital city is, so Manila, the Tagalogs will read this as tricycle. Tricycle. For if you are Cebuano, if you are in the Visayas and Mindanao region, we do not read this as tricycle, but we say tricycle. Okay? Driver. Driver is chuper. But when you say driver, we can also understand that. But the Filipino term for driver is chuper. Fare is pamasahe. Okay? The passenger is pasahero. Motorcycle is also one of the most commonly used means of transportation, especially in the mountainous areas. In Tagalog, motorcycle is motorsiklo, but in the Visayas and Mindanao region, we call it habal-habal. Habal actually means to mate. Well, I don't know why they call it habal-habal. Does it look like they're mating when they're riding a motorcycle? So the habal-habal driver or the motorcycle drivers would pick up passengers, usually 1 or 2, so that they can go to their work. Okay, so I hope you took down notes of those vocabulary words, the nouns that I listed there earlier, because we are going to use them in a sentence together with these verbs. And if you notice, I decided that starting today, I'm gonna conjugate the verbs in 2 tenses. In the previous 2 lessons, we are only conjugating the verbs into their present form. So right now, I decided that we are going to take the future and the present tense of these verbs. So let's go with the first one. The first one is ride or get on. In the Philippines, we say sakay. Now, sakay in the future tense, so usually for future tense, we repeat the first syllable of the root verb. So this is our root verb sakay. The future tense of that is sasakay. Look, So we took the first syllable of the root verb sakay, which is sa, and then we copied the entire root verb sakay. So future, sasakay. This is an verb. So the present tense for the sakay, remember in the previous lesson, where did we insert the Because it is an infix. We inserted that in after the first letter of the verb sasakay from the future tense, right? So if you copy the future tense sasakay and you insert in this part here, then it will become sumasakay. Okay, did you follow? Sasakay, sumasakay. Third one, get off. Get off is baba. This is one of the easiest verbs in the Philippines, baba. It's just, baba. Future, if you repeat the first syllable, baba, then what will happen? Ba, baba, right? So, ba, ba. 3 bas. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, first syllable, and then the root verb, baba. Future, ba, ba, ba. Now, this one is also an verb. So we are going to insert the here after the B. Then it will become bu, ma, baba. That's your present tense. Ba, 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 bu, ma, baba. Next, pay is bayad. Bayad is a mag verb. So we form it in the future, we add the mag. So mag, we have the mag, and then we repeat the first syllable of the verb bayad. So magba, and then you copy the entire verb, bayad. See, magba bayad. Now, in the present tense, we change mag to nag, and then we repeat the first syllable as well. So it will become nag babayad. There. Magbabayad, nagbabayad. Next one, leave or depart. We took this verb, we discussed this verb in lesson 2. So alis is an verb, right? If you can still remember. So how do we form the future? We repeat the first syllable, and then we add the root verb, alis. Future, aalis. Present tense, how do we form it? I said we cannot insert the anymore because this is a vowel. This verb starts with a vowel. So what do? We put the in the beginning. So we say and then we copy this, aalis. So future, present, umaalis. All right, the last one, stop. Stop, for stop, we have 2 terminologies. So hinto or tigil. We will do the hinto first. Future of hinto is hihinto. Hihinto. So we repeated this, the first syllable, and then we copied the entire root verb hinto. Hihinto. It's an verb. So we are going to insert, is this a vowel or a consonant? Consonant, right? So we will not put the in the beginning. Instead, we will insert it after the first letter of the future tense of the verb hihinto. So it will become humihinto. Humihinto. If we do tigil, it's the same pattern. Future tense, we repeat this, it will become tigil. And then here, we'll insert the it will become tumitigil. I hope you can copy this, or maybe you can pause it so that you can be familiar with how we conjugate our verbs. And then in the next slides or in the next part, we are going to do the sentences. So these are the sentences that we need to translate into conversational Filipino using the present form of the verb. Later, for the exercises that I'm going to leave to you, I will ask you to translate the sentences in their conversational form using the future tense of the verbs. Let's start with the first one. So Jenny rides a bus. So it's very easy. We always start with the verb, right? So how do we translate this in conversational Filipino? If you still have your notes there, then you can look up the equivalent, Filipino equivalent for these words in here. So Jenny rides a bus. Ride is sakay, right? So present form, sumasakay. So how do we say it in Filipino? Can you do it? I hope you will try as well. So let's start with a ride. So rides Jenny a bus. Oh, we say sumasakay. Rides is sumasakay. Should I write it? Okay. So sumasakay. Sumasakay si Jenny ng bus. So we say sumasakay si Jenny ng bus, or you can interchange the subject here or the doer of the action. We won't call it the subject because in English language the subject cannot be interchanged, right? But here in Filipino, since we can interchange them, then we, depending on the focus of the sentence, then we will call Jenny not the subject, but we will call Jenny as the doer of the action because she's the one doing the verb sumasakay. So we can say sumasakay si Jenny ng bus, or we could also say sumasakay ng bus si Jenny. That's how you do it. If your sentence has an object, then we can say, we can interchange them. So one way is sumasakay si Jenny. You put Jenny immediately after the action sumasakay, or you can put the object, the bus. Sumasakay ng bus si Jenny. But these words here, si is a personal topic maker, so you cannot use this before the word bus. Okay, it's a personal topic maker. So this si here would always go with Jenny. And the nang here is an indicator for an object, and you would always put this before the object of the sentence. So, sumasakay si Jenny ng bus, or sumasakay ng bus si Jenny. Or we say bus. Sorry, I said bus. Okay, number 2. The jeepney leaves the station. So, we'll start with the verb leaves. In present form is umaalis, right? Umaalis. Umaalis ang jeep. Umaalis ang jeep sa istasyon. Station is istasyon. So, we could say umaalis ang jeep sa istasyon, or we could say umaalis sa istasyon ang jeep. But so that you won't get confused, we will just use this kind of pattern. So umaalis, and then we put the subject immediately after the verb so that you won't get confused. So you can always say umaalis ang jeep sa istasyon, so that you'll have the same pattern there, same position. But we are just going to interchange the verb and the subject of the sentence because that's how we form our conversational Filipino. We always start with the verb. All right? The third one, the passengers get off the train. So, get off is bumababa, right? So, we start with bumababa. Bumababa. Passengers, it's plural. So we put mga, right? This one, mga. This is how we form our plural in Filipino. We don't put s or es. We just add mga, and everything will become plural. Every noun, when you put mga, it will become plural. So we say bumababa ang mga passengers is pasahero. Bumababa ang mga pasahero sa tren. So, bumababa ang mga pasahero, and then we'll keep the train in the last part. So we'll just interchange passengers and get off. We'll start with get off. Okay? Next one. She pays the fare. So she is siya, right? He or she is siya. Pays is nagbabayad. So nagbabayad. Nagbabayad siya. What is the fare? Pamasahe. Nagbabayad siya ng pamasahe. There. Okay, last one. The tricycle stops. Okay, this one doesn't have an object, so this is an easy one. The tricycle stops. So stops is humihinto or tumitigil, right? Either of the two. So we'll use humihinto. Humihinto ang tricycle. There you go. Humihinto ang tricycle or tumitigil ang tricycle. And now it's time for you to review what you have in your notes, because I am going to give you 3 sentences that you would need to translate to conversational Filipino using the future tense of the verb. Please feel free to pause the video at any point if you need more time to answer, or if you would need to check back to your notes so that you can make sure that you have the correct answer. And that's all for today. I hope you learned something. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please don't forget to like this video. See you again next time. Bye!